Hello for the 23rd week of the year, using all of the readings, Ezekiel, Romans, and Matthew in the Gospel. And it has been a wild week or so, hasn't it? With all the hurricanes, earthquakes, and so forth. Whether the first one in Texas and Louisiana, or whether the one in present time right now, as I speak, or even learning about from Mexico, the earthquake. People were saying, what is happening? Well, a lot is happening, and a lot of physical evil things are happening. And many people blame God. Many people blame other people and say it's because of our sins. This is what's causing all this. But don't blame God. And don't just blame other people and their sins. I think the key to everything is in that second reading from Romans, where Paul is saying, brothers and sisters, owe nothing to anyone except to love one another, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. Unbelievable things seem to be happening in these hurricanes and earthquakes. People are loving one another and come to help one another, forgetting the color of their skin or forgetting which country they come from. They just love one another and help their neighbor. I think that's beautiful. It's too bad we don't do it all the time. But I think in fact, we're called to do it all the time. To love our neighbor as ourselves. And to forgive the way we are supposed to forgive ourselves. The other two readings, I think, deal with loving your neighbor, even the one who violates you, sins against you. In the New Testament, Jesus says, well, go and talk to the one who violates you or sins against you, and have it out and try to reconcile it. That doesn't work. We'll take one or two other people with you and try to convince. And if that doesn't work, we'll take the community or the civil law against. And if that doesn't work, the only thing you can do is avoid that person. That's an insight into loving your neighbor as much as you love yourself. I don't understand it all, especially when you totally say, well, I have nothing to do with him. I don't know how that stacks up with love your enemies. But in the first reading from Ezekiel is another thing. God is giving you in charge of your neighbor too. If your neighbor is not living the way he or she should, well, it might be part of your call to go and try to convince them. It is your call to try to let truth be known, let true morality be known, and how to live. And God is telling us, and if you do this and you have the responsibility for this, you do have the responsibility, and it will be okay with you. It won't be okay with the one who's doing the violation or the evil living or the immorality. It won't be okay with him or with her. Life is sort of strange. The way we live comes back to haunt us. The way we live comes back to bless us. Russ Hudson, who was the author of the Enneagram, said this about sin, which I find is interesting. He says this: we are not punished for our sins. We are punished by our sins. If I do not live a life of love and being a humanitarian and a good person. I don't get punished for that I didn't do it. The mere fact that I don't live it is my punishment. I will never become happy if I'm only concerned about myself. I will never be happy unless I really try to take care of myself. I'll never be happy unless I reach out to others. And that's why I say in these terrible times, or these trying times of hurricanes and earthquakes and so forth, we do need to reach out of ourselves to be happy. Well, and then the final thing is, the bottom line is, that's how we reach out to God. And we just can't stay deep down in myself, only being concerned about myself. So life is tough. Hurricanes are real. Earthquakes happen. People hurt. People violate. You and I are called to love our neighbor as ourselves. Beautifully said, I think, in the book of Romans this morning. Brothers and sisters, owe nothing to anyone except to love one another. For the one who loves fulfills the law. The one who loves not only fulfills the law, but fulfills his or her true self. The one who loves, in doing that, will wind up being a happy person, a person at peace, a child of God, one who has been created in the image and likeness. It works, but it certainly is not easy, is it? Have a good day.